water, and it kept being scraped open. It finally got infected, and it was really gross. And finally, to take care of it, I had to pour alcohol in it twice a day to get it cleaned out and put fresh bandages on it. And if you ever had alcohol put in an open wound, you know how much it burns. And we both understood it was really painful, but it was for his good. But I remember one day he was sitting there, I was just finished rebandaging it, and there were just tears running down his face. And he looked at me and he said, "Mom, I just wish Jesus would come back." And I thought, you know what, Caleb? That is exactly right. Because I hope you realize this world is broken. It is not how God intended it. He created in the Garden of Eden a perfect world for his creation to enjoy. But from the moment that Adam and Eve sinned, our world is broken. And there is pain, and there is sorrow, and there is disease, and there's disorders, and all kinds of things that God didn't create. But they remind us that our sin has broken the perfect world that God has created. But it does, just like Caleb was crying and saying, "I wish Jesus would just come back," because he knew. Okay, and there's a wonderful promise in Revelation. It's in Revelation 21:4. And it says, "And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away." And I hope that's a promise that you can go to, that you can rest in, okay? Because life isn't fair, okay? It's not fair because our world is broken by sin. But for those of us who believe in Jesus Christ as our personal Savior, and we look forward to heaven and a day where God will remove all sorrow and all pain. But in the meantime, we have other promises. And one of my favorite promises I love to go to when I just don't understand and things aren't going the way that I expected. I know I have a sovereign God who is in control, and even though I cannot see the tapestry that he is weaving, I know that in Romans 8:28 it says that we know that all things work together for good, to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Now this is a promise to believers. Okay, and sometimes the hard part is the good. What is the good? Okay, because is disease good or disorders good? Well, not in our book. But that good is drawing us closer to Jesus Christ, that we might be like him and therefore give God the glory that he justly deserves. And sometimes when we look at these diseases and disorders, we're going to look at them in just a second. I hope that you can see these promises, that the world is broken, but one day God will wipe away tears. And in the meantime, we have this beautiful promise that even though we may not understand, God is working all things together for good. Okay, and that good being, we would be like our precious Savior, Jesus Christ, and that we would bring God glory. Okay, so let's go ahead with that in mind and that kind of our compass as we talk about these things.